What if I told you chasing constant self-improvement could actually make your life worse, not better? The podcasts, the books, the cold plunges, the morning routines, the 6-hour before bed nighttime routine, is it really helping you improve? Or are you actually putting yourself inside a cage? And I think a lot of people don't realize there's a very dark side to self-improvement that I've been guilty of before, and so have many other people. And I think this will actually improve your life more than so many other things. The word self-improvement is like a glorified word now. It's like, I'm working on myself. I'm doing monk mode. I'm not going on nights out. It's like, I'm not drinking anymore. And look, I'm all for somebody who wants to improve themselves. But I think there is this side that people just don't talk about enough. And it's also like, we're going to go through it, but it's asking yourself, like, what does improving your life to you mean? Is it just simply making more money and being in better shape? Because that is not what I want my life to be about. I don't want people to be like, he made money and he was in good shape. Like, boring. I've been there, obsessed with optimizing. I would have put my phone away at 4 hours before bed, blue light blockers on. I would have had nasal strips on. I would have never went out for a drink because it would upset my routine at the weekend. That would affect my training. And don't get me wrong, this helped get me in insane shape, but I ended up being more robotic, anxious. I couldn't go anywhere outside my routine without it like giving me anxiety. And I felt more empty than ever, even though I was in better shape and making more money. It didn't fill me up with anything. Like it didn't fill my cup. It just felt weird. It didn't feel how I thought it would. And the funny thing is, you always get a longer to-do list. If you're super productive and you hit your to-do list, what do? You add more to it. So the to-do list never runs out, no matter how productive or optimized you are. Let's dive into this and how to stop growth turning into guilt, which is helping me and many others. So hopefully this video helps you and you're not putting too much pressure on yourself. If you are, this will help you drastically. You need to stop playing by other people's rules and make your own. A few years ago, I was in this deep rabbit hole. Every minute was documented, like blue light glasses, the sleep times, the ice baths, the up at 5 a.m, perfect macros, zero distractions. On paper, looked great, making more money and better shape, but the truth, I was bored out of my banger, out of my nut. Honestly, I'd stopped living because I was turned into like a human to-do list, and you know yourself, the to-do list just keeps getting longer and longer and longer. I treated like every present minute of joy for a future version, so like gratification in the future that never comes is no gratification now. Like I'd sacrifice pizza every time, a meal with a family, so that I could be closer to my macros and be in better shape for it all to pay off later. But if you trade all your joy forever, you just end up the richest man in the graveyard essentially, which is of no use to anyone. That's not discipline, that's misery. Discipline is a good balance that you determine, playing life by your own rules. And I've changed things around a lot in the last 12 to 24 months, and it's made a massive difference. So the real trap is you tell yourself, I'll be enough when I hit X, when I get abs, when I get X money. But the target moves. As soon as you make X, as soon as you get abs, you'll want more. That is the human condition. So I think it's really important not to say, I'll be happy when. You're content now. And I'm not saying don't chase things, don't improve, but enjoy as you move forward and realize that not everything has to be perfect. Otherwise, the problem is you can do what I done and you can spend a lot of your life chasing progression rather than peace. And peace is really what you want. Clarity, it's hard to beat. There's so much content online, it's like a circle jerk. And that's me being straightforward. It's easy to scroll down. You'll see even motivational stuff on my page. You compare yourself to others. You feel guilty for not doing more. You watch people put up their Instagram story 5 a.m. every day. They meditate, they plunge, they're building a business, they're building an empire, their relationship looks great, they're on date nights, and you feel lazy. So then you start to try and cram in more, but you're not seeing the real reality of their life. Nobody shows you the day where they lay in bed and just watch Netflix. You're not lazy, you're just overloaded and comparing yourself to people that are just lying. So the problem is, it's who you're comparing yourself with. For me, the first fix was just simply not scrolling. And for me, that's it. Like that one rule, if I keep that in, that makes the biggest impact. Clear headspace, better focus, more peace. That adds to the quality of my life versus doing more optimized stuff that like putting it away at X time. I just remove social media, I only use it on the laptop. In this section, look, a logical solution to improvement is when you try and fix everything, you don't have the willpower. Pick one thing and focus on it. This gives you balance without the burnout. So I sort of call it like the one rock, two pebbles method, because you pick one thing that's going to make the biggest difference. As I said, maybe stopping scrolling, one date night, hitting the gym 3 times a week, and then the two pebbles are the habits that help you get there. So for example, you pre-plan your date nights weeks in advance, you pre-plan your gym sessions, you remove scrolling so it gives you more time. Whatever the habit is that lets the rock sit in the two pebbles always works a treat. And I think actually just focusing on one thing rather than optimizing everything allows you to actually let it become a habit rather than this massive list that you can never be consistent with. So one thing, we've got improvement versus enjoyment. Ask yourself, is this self-improvement or am I just making my life harder for the approval of others or myself because I don't feel worthy enough? You don't need to optimize everything everything. Some things you just need to enjoy. Like, so just like the first time I had 1 million people on Instagram, which was insane. It's mad to think that many people, like that's like half the country I'm from, Northern Ireland. I think there's like 2 million people in it. It's madness. But the first time I hit that, it was like a big dopamine hit, and then you reset and it becomes the norm. And I'm assuming this is the same as if you have a Ferrari and you get in it and over a year it becomes the new normal. And you're probably thinking, where am I going with this? I just want you to make sure that if you're improving yourself, it's not just for ego and validation from others. It's actual improvement you're focusing on to make your life better. It's self-improvement, not ego management. There is a big, big difference. And I fell down that trap. Just think about that and go, am I doing this for others or am I doing it for myself? And do I need to do all this? Like, condense the list down. If there's 10 things on it, think, as I said, 1 big rock and 2 pebbles. Make it easy and simple for yourself. The next section I want to go through is stop comparing yourself to influencers. As I highlighted, people putting up their wake times, all this BS about what they do now, but you never want to copy where somebody is now if you want to resemble them. You want to copy what they did to get there. So it's just like, for example, me telling you what calories I'm eating now, what I'm doing, whenever I'm already lean, it's completely different to what you should be doing whenever you're 50 pounds overweight. So the balancing game you play with your self-improvement is down to you. Really good example is you see this online. People preach about how photo shoots are bad for you, bodybuilding's bad for you, but they're jacked, massive and big because they done bodybuilding for years and then moved to CrossFit or High Rocks. They built their physique through bodybuilding splits and then moved. Whereas if you started with, for example, High Rocks or CrossFit, you're going to build less muscle initially because it's not just aesthetics based. That's fine. But if you want the physique of somebody who trained for years then moved, you should train for years with mainly focusing on building the muscle. It's that thought process. You don't have to, but you think about it. You don't model a millionaire's habits whenever they're a millionaire. You should model them on the way up. But the funny thing is most people don't document that process. And then you see they can do it by having balance. And this is where I want to explain, you have to have that realization of what it costs to get to where you want to go. And then this way, the self-improvement to you is about really what you're improving to move the needle in that direction. Does waking up at 5 a.m. really move you towards where you need to go? Does ice bathing? Does blue light glasses? Or just doing the work and being structured? Like, that could literally be it. Like, I work these hours. And I think too many people are caught up in this where self-improvement is procrastination disguised as self-improvement. The ice baths, the blue light blockers, the podcast after podcast after podcast. It's all information in and not much work is actually getting done. Versus if you want to get in great shape, you don't need to improve everything else. If this is your top priority, you just focus on that. And that's where your time goes in, with action. So take action more than anything else. Now, if you are doing self-improvement, the dark side is you want to be structured without slavery. It's meant to serve you, not trap you. If your entire day is just meal prep, gym, sleep, repeat, you're not living, you're existing. Go out, have a beer, see your mates. That's coming from me. Balance works both ways and you actually decide where it comes from. If I can't have a beer with my friend, like, what is life? Obviously, it can't be all fun and no play, and it can't be all work and no play. You need a balance that you define for yourself. But if you're not getting progress, you lean in more. But if you're getting progress, you can dial out a little bit and actually have some fun. There's nothing wrong with that in any sense of the word. Like, I think too many people think it's one or the other. It's not. And the person I admire the most is who can balance both, because that's what everybody wants. They want to have a life while moving forward, because that gives you enjoyment in the moment and also enjoyment in the future, which I've been on one side or the other until probably the last 24 months. All my life, I went through drugs and drink and too much enjoyment. Then I went almost too strict on the bodybuilding side and found that I lost myself. I didn't even have a personality because I was so focused on self-improvement. Wrecked relationships. It gave me no quality of life. And it's funny because you're doing it for quality of life. So it's such an interesting take. I think I actually made this video as much for me as you. And that's me being straight, because I've been the guy who's constant improvement, thinking it made me better when it actually made me worse and not the best person. I now focus on improving slower and one thing at a time. And I think it just gives a different energy to it. Maybe that's like a real flex in my opinion, like peace over just pressuring yourself for the sake of it. It's a very strange video, this. And I think even my editor will be like, what was the overall point of this? And I don't know if there was one. It was just more so you decide where your balance is. Nobody else dictates what makes your life valuable but you. And you have to walk that line. Because even if you do optimize everything and you get to where you want to go, what's the point in getting there if it takes 20 years and you didn't enjoy 20 years? Your life is not guaranteed. Growing old is a valuable thing that is denied to many. It's a luxury that's denied to so many people and we take it for granted. So you do need to enjoy now as well as the future, and just realize that if you do drive on with self-improvement, like, it's one of them things where it can really eat you up if you do not balance the game. So focus on one thing, is my honest opinion, and that will make a massive difference for you. Do not try and build 50 habits at once. Focus on the biggest thing that makes the most difference to your life. Keep it simple. Simplicity works always. A very different video. I hope that's been of value to you. I'm probably going to watch this back a lot myself, especially when I go off center. Don't beat yourself up too much. If you need any help with anything, don't be afraid to drop me a message. I've just got a new snack Bible released as well. I know that's weird to put in here, but 25 high protein, low calorie snacks that are super tasty. I'll be able to throw up an image or two. Just DM me the word snack Bible. It's free. It's on my Instagram, Facebook, and I'll send it for you. No strings attached. And I really appreciate everything you do. Big love. I'll see you in the next one. Oh, and like, share, subscribe.